Behind me is the Alamo Dome here in San Antonio, which has been the host of the basketball state championships for the last several years. Before that, the Irwin Center in Austin was the home of the state championships. For years and years and years, Amarillo and the entire panhandle have had a lot of success on the hardwood. Canyon and Nazareth have won a plethora of girls' state championships for generations. And on the boys' side, the Canadian boys came up with back-to-back state championships in football and boys basketball. Stinnett West Texas, though, had not been to the state championships in any team sport in school history. It wasn't because the Comanches weren't any good, but because Amarillo, the Panhandle, and Region 1 were that strong. Well, in 2018, the Comanches finally got out of a loaded Region 1, made it to the Alamo Dome. They had to take on and get past a couple of tough opponents that were perennial powers and another team that had won state championships in the past. The Comanches, though, used a little bit of biscuits and gravy to come up with a championship.
If you guys have any questions during the game, Winky, Tony, and Chuck, just ask us nicely and we'll give you the answer back nicely, okay?
The road to the state Final Four is already tough enough with hazards and tough games. But once you arrive, the road is even tougher. Nerves and apprehension can oftentimes undo a team's hopes before the game or match even starts. That could have been the case for Stinnett West Texas against Shelbyville in the 2A state semifinals.
Roll time on three. 1, 2, 3. Roll time.
The school won a pair of titles in the 1980s and had never lost in the state semifinals, meaning they knew the high expectations were for the East Texas school. As it turned out, the only nerves or apprehension shown in the opening minutes of the contest was from the basket on the west side of the court. That's because Comanche Jalin Conyers was ready for the opening bell. 45 seconds into the contest, the 6'4" sophomore faked out a defender, made a layup, and drew a foul. He made the free throw and gave the Panhandle team a quick lead. That single play defined the game. The defense forced mistake after mistake, and the offense scored off those mistakes, not with boring layups, but fiery dunks. And an occasional three. By the time Shelbyville coach David Schmidt finally used a timeout, West Texas was up by 12 and in fact had already slayed the Dragons.
It wasn't just stopping them, then you had to get them blocked out because they hit the board so well, and they do a good job of getting position.
The Comanches made 9 of their first 10 shots and had more dunks in the opening quarter, 5, than missed shots, 3. They led 27-12 after 1. The big question, what did they feed the team for breakfast at the hotel?
I had biscuits and gravy. That was it. What we have been doing lately in these playoff games, no one expects us to do it, so we wanted to go out there and prove everybody wrong. It got the crowd excited, and when the crowd's excited, we're excited. Energy and excitement brings better basketball.
A little-known breakfast combination once popular in older generations helped propel the team from Stinnett.
Defense comes first for us, and we always preach that. We try to stop it at the rim, make them kick out, make them make a contested shot, so I just try to play my role in that, make sure that nobody gets an easy shot around the rim, and I kind of fill that role as the rim protector, and I try to do it the best of my ability every game.
West Texas would go on to win 70-60 in a game that wasn't remotely that close. The Comanches shot 63% from the field and in 2 quarters shot 75% or better. The only reason why the game was close on paper was because Shelbyville took 22 more shots and had 8 more offensive rebounds, but they had 40 missed shots. West Texas only attempted 41 field goals and made 3 more than the Dragons. Conyers had 28 points, while Dalen Williams had 13 and 11 rebounds, good for a double-double.
When we get inside early, it opens the whole floor for us, and we try to play inside out instead of outside in. Once we can start pounding the ball inside a little bit, then our shooters open up a little bit and we can start knocking down shots.
The win propelled the Comanches to the gold medal match where they would face Thorndale, a team located just down the road from Round Rock in the Austin area. The Bulldogs defeated the defending champions from Munster in the other semifinal and were at the Dome for the third straight year. Many believe West Texas's semifinal win over Shelbyville was for the silver trapezoid, and Thorndale's win over Munster was for the gold trapezoid. How did Coach Aron Graves plan on stopping the Bulldogs?
We just got to be a little bit tougher, I feel like. These guys did a great job, obviously, today. They got to be a little bit smarter tomorrow, and they got to be a little bit tougher and finish possession. A lot of those fouls were off of offensive rebounds, second chance points, and so they've got to be better tomorrow, period.
That wasn't evident early, as in the opening minutes, Conyers stole a Thorndale pass and converted an easy layup. But little did anyone know that that would be his only made shot of the day. Conyers was constantly double-teamed by the Bulldogs, and after going 13 of 15 from the field in the semis, he was just 1 for 5 in the final. While Thorndale celebrated stopping Conyers, they completely forgot about another sophomore, Jonah Villanueva, number 32. In an ironic twist, he went 1 for 5 from the field in the semis, the same as Conyers in the finals. But when the Bulldogs doubled down on Conyers in the finals, Villanueva was open for threes. His second of the opening quarter gave the Comanches a 20-15 lead after one.
I made the first one and I missed the next two. I didn't know if I should keep shooting, and then every time I caught it, Coach Graves was always on the sideline saying, "Shoot it. That's it."
The second quarter was a test of wills and patience. The Comanches scored just 4 points in the quarter and made only 1 of 10 shots, with the one being this Jeffrey Jefferson layup screened out by longtime official Eric James. Thankfully for West Texas, Thorndale shot no better, making only 3 of 12 field goal attempts and scoring just 6 points, as they failed to capitalize on West Texas's mistakes. The teams walked off the court, the Comanches still holding a slim 24-21 lead at recess, but the opening half was essentially a stalemate.
We talked at halftime of getting in our offense a little bit quicker. We try to push the ball, we try to play up-tempo, and that's one thing that I felt like we've done a great job of all year, but once we got into the half court, I felt like we were pretty stagnant, pretty slow, and so we really talked about just getting into our stuff a little bit quicker.
Believed in each other, and we couldn't get in our inside game like we wanted to, like we usually do. They were junking up the inside, and we had the faith in our shooters out here.
The Comanches knew coming out of the locker room another 4-point quarter would likely allow Thorndale to race past them. So West Texas themselves raced out of the locker room with a 14-4 run, capped off by a teardropper by Gage. That quickly brought the lead up to 38-27 midway through the quarter. Every time the Bulldogs made a run in that third period, someone in white would make a key shot. A Villanueva three-pointer ended a 3-minute drought without a field goal, and with time running out in the quarter, the sophomore made one more big shot to end the period. 3 3-pointers in that basket equated to 11 points himself in the quarter and a 44-36 lead.
That does not mean that they're still back in, right? That you just get past it.
In the grand scheme of things, 8 minutes isn't a large amount of time, but it seemed like an eternity for Stinnett West Texas, as that is what stood between them and the golden trapezoid. The fourth quarter, though, was a continuation of the third, as back-to-back three-pointers by Cassidy and Villanueva increased the lead to 10.
I was iffy about shooting it, but then I think they ended up calling timeout somewhere, and everyone was just telling me to keep shooting the ball. And I think that's where it came from.
Cassidy's one-handed jumper from the point and a couple of Villanueva free throws made it 54-44 with under 3 minutes remaining. In fact, West Texas missed just 3 shots the entire second half. But everyone, even the officials, knew Thorndale could make a run at any time, and they did. Back-to-back three-pointers by the team in maroon and a pair of free throws in less than a minute erased almost all of the Comanche lead. And all of a sudden, a comfortable 10-point lead had dropped down to 2 with 86 seconds remaining. With no shot clock, West Texas could hold the ball and their fate would be decided at the free throw line. Remember Jalin Conyers? He was the guy with all the dunks in the semis and only one made field goal in the final. He made 4 key free throws in the final minute to make it a 2-possession game at 58-53.
It's nerve-wracking, especially when you've only made 1 shot all game. Your confidence is very low. But Coach Graves assured me that I could get it done, and I finally started believing in myself.
He made 8 free throws in the game and finished with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Thorndale needed 3-pointers to make a miracle comeback. Reason turned to desperation. The Heaves would not fall, and the fans knew it was time to celebrate. The final seconds ticked away of a 61-55 win, and the little town of Stinnett, tucked away comfortably in the basketball-rich panhandle, could finally add their names to hardwood lore. There wasn't a dry eye in the stands or in the locker room.
Yes, sir! We're the champions, baby! It's hard. I remember 5 short years ago, we were awful. We were awful. 6 and 20, I don't even know what. It was bad. All right? You guys understand that? Okay? So cherish this. This is something that nobody can take from you ever. You are a state champion. Cannot be more proud of a group of kids that have worked your tails off and deserve this moment. You guys understand that? Yes, sir. I appreciate every one of you guys and what you have been a part of Comanche basketball, a part of me and my family.
We just started to really believe in each other there at the end and really trust in each other, and I think that's how we had that stretch, and that's how we closed the game out.
Even if we're losing by 10 or winning by 10, they're gonna cheer you on and tell you it's okay, y'all got this, y'all are gonna win. And them being right behind us, hearing everybody's words that, oh, y'all got this, you're up by 10, keep shooting it, make free throws, everything. It brings your confidence back.
5 years ago, Stinnett West Texas winning a state championship seemed like an unfathomable fantasy, but those fantasies became reality in 2018.
We're gonna go get a ring.
We're gonna have a banner. We're gonna hang it up. Our name's gonna be on that. We're gonna play a team. Oh my God.
The only question remaining was who would be the outstanding player of the 2A final. It went to Villanueva, who scored 16 of his 22 points in the second half. Every time Thorndale made a run, he or Cassidy made a huge basket to stay ahead and win the championship.
It's unbelievable. Being from Stinnett, having 2 administrators that are still currently there, that were my coaches in high school. It's just a dream come true. It's hard to explain, but couldn't be at a better place. Don't want to go anywhere. It's just unreal.
Coach Aron Graves and the West Texas Comanches once again proving why Amarillo has the best high school basketball in the state, and don't be surprised if the Comanches make it back to the Alamo Dome in 2019. I'm Greg Sherman.